Hey there, I'm Courtney if you're new, and if you're not new, you'll know that it's been about 2 years since I last posted, and I am here to tell you why. There's two big reasons why I've been missing for about 2 years now, and one of the reasons was because we had a baby. And not necessarily because that's an excuse, because there's plenty of YouTubers that get pregnant, have their babies, and they don't miss a beat in their channels, which is awesome. I was not that person. When I got pregnant, I was the most exhausted person alive between trying to homeschool, still cook at home, and help run our business, which is another reason why I took our break. We started a trucking company back in September of 2022, so I was still kind of posting a little bit here and there. And then we started growing a lot in our company, so I needed to put more work into that and put a little bit less work into this. So between those two things, that's what majorly changed my life, our life, to lose track of what I was doing. Along with the pregnancy being super exhausting, we were also planning a home birth, which we were able to do successfully, but not discounting hospital births because that's how Cameron was born. But it's just a lot more energy and effort and research that should go into it for us to be able to comfortably have a baby at the home. I needed to completely change my diet, how my day-to-day life was happening, things that I was doing. And I just needed to focus a lot of time and effort onto that to make sure that we had the most successful home birth as possible. Some things that changed over those 2 years was mainly the amount of livestock that we had here at the house. We went from about 40 animals, which included about 30 chickens, and now we are down to 6 animals. Those animals include 2 goats, which are just buddy goats. They're 2 wethers. They're not dairy goats or anything. They're just pets. I've got my 2 livestock guardian Great Pyrenees, which you've never met. And then I've got 2 chickens. I got rid of all the other chickens because they were getting fairly old. They were getting up to 4 years old. So the 2 that I have left are 2 years old. Hopefully they start laying soon. And then we have Henry and Luna, our Great Pyrenees. This one's Henry. And then I told you about the goats. The next part of our life that has changed was our garden. I did start doing a garden 2 years ago when we were working with each other. We had put together that green stock together. And then I did start some seeds that year and plant those out. But that was about the most in-depth that garden got. I watered it just a handful of times and ended up with a whole big green patch out in our garden. Hopefully this year I have the capacity to do a small garden. The physical size is going to be the same, but I'm going to have less plants and see if I can be a little bit more nurturing with each plant and see if we could have a higher yield than what we've done, because we really haven't been too successful in the past other than a few zucchinis and a handful of tomatoes. One thing that we're most excited about adding to this YouTube channel is talking about our company that we have. So it started as a trucking company and has slowly, not really slowly, it's been 2 years and we've evolved rather quickly. So we went from a trucking company that hauled manure out of a feedlot onto a compost facility. And now we still do that, but we've evolved into doing the composting ourselves as well. So it's a separate location than what we've been working at. And we're now the composters. So what we want to integrate into this channel is talking about commercial composting. We found a lot about residential where families use kitchen scraps and garden, like leaves and old garden remnants. And, there's this whole science behind it. I don't know anything about that. But what Ray really does know, because he's been doing it for about 5 years now, is the manure composting industry, and where we could turn feedlot manure into compost that then goes into fields and gardens. So we've started working on that. We had the opportunity to start that facility back in July, and we've recently gained all the equipment to be able to manage that, and we want to bring you along for that. So with that being said, we are no longer RCK Livestock, and I no longer have the RCK Living channel. We're going to combine everything into one channel, and we are Rooted. And this is a channel where you all can join us on our day-to-day life, whether it be at home, in the garden, potentially adding some scratch cooking, homemaking, homeschooling, and then, of course, our compost operation that we do. With Rooted, it's a channel now that can change with us as we grow and as we move on with our lives. It's not just focused on outdoor livestock, because things can change and you can get rid of livestock, and it doesn't make sense to be called RCK livestock when we got rid of most of our animals. We're excited to bring you all along. Let me know what your questions are with commercial composting, and just let me know your thoughts on that, because we're super excited about adding that into the channel. And if there's any specific things that you want to see, we're wanting to show you as much as possible as we can. Anyways, this video was rather short. I just wanted to hop on, reintroduce myself, and let's see where this takes us. Thanks, guys.